Hello everyone, welcome to Anatophysio Hub. This is third video of region of upper limb video series. In this video we learn about anatomy of scapular region or posterior shoulder region. In this video I will cover superficial back muscles and scapular region muscles. Scapular region, also called posterior shoulder region. The scapular region forms the posterior aspect of shoulder. Although anatomically located on the back, and it is functionally part of the upper limb because many muscles here control upper limb movement. Examples are trapezius, latissimus dorsi, rotator cuff muscles. Okay, there are few bones involved to scapular region. They are scapula, it is main bone, and upper part of humerus, and clavicle, indirect relations, and vertebrae give attachment for the muscles. And also there are prominent surface landmarks. They are spine of scapula, acromion process, coracoid process anteriorly, and supraspinous and infraspinous fossa. Now we learn about major muscles group. There are two groups, superficial back muscles and scapular region muscles. Superficial back muscles connect upper limb to trunk. They are trapezius, latissimus dorsi, levator scapulae, and rhomboid major and rhomboid minor. And scapular region muscles, these muscles connect scapula to humerus and help in adduction and rotation of arm. They are deltoid, teres major, and rotator cuff groups. Rotator cuff groups include four muscles: supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, and subscapularis. Now we expand superficial back muscles. They are trapezius, latissimus dorsi, and levator scapulae, and also rhomboid minor and rhomboid major. We look about first three. Okay, you can see this is the trapezius muscles, and this is the levator scapulae, and this is the latissimus dorsi. Okay, first we look about origin. Trapezius muscle origin from occipital bone, ligamentum nache, spines on 7 cervical vertebrae, and spine of all thoracic vertebrae. And latissimus dorsi origin from iliac crest, lumbar fascia, spines of lower 6 thoracic vertebrae, lower 3 or 4 ribs, and inferior angle of scapula. And levator scapula origin from transverse process of first 4 cervical vertebrae. Okay, you can see this is the trapezius muscle origin from occipital bone, actually superior nuchal line, and ligamentum nache, and spines of all thoracic vertebrae. And this is the levator scapulae muscle origin from upper 6 transverse process of cervical spines. And this is the latissimus dorsi origin from iliac crest, lumbar fascia, spines of lower 6 thoracic vertebrae, and inferior angle of scapula. Okay, now we look about insertions. Trapezius has two parts. Upper fibers insert to lateral third of clavicle, and middle and lower fibers insert to acromion and spines of scapula. And latissimus dorsi insert to floor of bicipital groove of humerus. And levator scapula insert to medial border of scapula, actually dorsal surface. You can see this is the trapezius muscle. Upper fibers insert to lateral part of clavicle, and the middle and lower fibers insert to acromion process and upper ridge of spine of scapula. And this is levator scapula insert to dorsal surface of medial border of scapula, actually upper part. And this is latissimus dorsi insert to floor of bicipital groove. Okay, and the nerve supply. Trapezius innervated by spinal part of accessory nerve, and latissimus dorsi innervated by thoracodorsal nerve. You can remember latissimus dorsi, thoracodorsal. And levator scapula innervated by C3 and C4 spinal nerve and dorsal scapular nerve. And the action, trapezius is powerful elevator of scapula, rotate scapula during abduction of humerus above horizontal, actually 90 degree into 180 degree. And middle fibers retract scapula and lower fibers depress scapula. And the latissimus dorsi extend and adduct and medial rotate the arm. And levate scapulae raise medial border of scapula. Okay, you can understand this is trapezius muscle. Trapezius muscle, superior part elevate the scapula and the middle part protract the scapula and the lower part depress the scapula, and all part involved to medial rotation of scapula. It involved to abduction of arm 90 to 180 degree. And this is levate scapula, elevate the medial border of the scapula. And this is latissimus dorsi. Latissimus dorsi involved to adduction of arm, medial rotation and extension of arm. Okay. Now we learn about remain two muscle, rhomboid minor and rhomboid major. Rhomboid minor origin from ligamentum nache, spine of 7 cervical and first thoracic vertebra. You can see rhomboid minor origin from ligamentum nache and spine of 7 cervical and first thoracic vertebra. And rhomboid major origin from second to fifth thoracic spines. And rhomboid minor insert to medial border of scapula at spine level, and the rhomboid major insert to medial border of scapula, lower part, dorsal surface. And rhomboid minor and rhomboid major both muscles innervated by dorsal scapular nerve. And they have common action. It is raise medial border of scapula upward and medially. And now we learn about scapular region. First tree is deltoid, supraspinatus, infraspinatus. Deltoid origin from lateral third of clavicle, acromion process and spine of clavicle. Supraspinatus origin from supraspinous fossa, and infraspinatus origin from infraspinous fossa. Okay, you can see this is the supraspinatus muscle origin from supraspinous fossa, and this is infraspinatus muscle origin from infraspinous fossa, and this is the deltoid origin from lower ridge of spine and acromion process and the lateral third of clavicle. And deltoid insertion to middle and lateral surface of shaft of humerus, actually deltoid tuberosity. And supraspinatus insert to greater tuberosity of humerus, and infraspinatus insert to greater tuberosity of humerus. You can see this is the infraspinatus and supraspinatus insertion. Both are insert to greater tuberosity of humerus. And nerve supply, deltoid supply by axillary nerve, and supraspinatus and infraspinatus supplied by suprascapular nerve. Deltoid involved to abduct arm 15 to 90 degree, and the anterior fibers flex and medial rotate arm, posterior fibers extend and lateral rotate arm. Supraspinatus involved to abduct arm 0 to 15 degree. Actually, supraspinatus, the muscles of initiate the abduction, and also involved to stabilize shoulder joint. And infraspinatus lateral rotate arm and involved to stabilize shoulder joint. These two muscles, supraspinatus and infraspinatus, are rotator cuff muscle, so involved to stabilize shoulder joint. Okay, you can see this is the deltoid muscle, anterior part or clavicular part, middle part or acromial part, spinal part or posterior part. Middle part involved to abduction 15 to 90 degree, and the anterior part involved to flexion of arm and medial rotation, and the posterior part involved to extension of arm and lateral rotation. And this is the abduction process 0 to 50 degree by supraspinatus. So abduction initiated by supraspinatus muscle, and 15 to 90 degree by deltoid muscle, and 90 degree into 180 degree by scapular rotation by two muscle, trapezius and serratus anterior muscle. Now we learn about other three muscle, teres major, teres minor and subscapularis. Teres major origin from lower third of lateral border of scapula. Teres minor origin from upper two-third of lateral border of scapula. And subscapularis origin from subscapular fossa. Okay, you can see this is the subscapularis. Subscapularis origin from subscapular fossa. And this is the teres minor and teres major. Teres minor origin from the dorsal surface of lateral border of the scapula, upper two-third, and the teres major origin from the lower one-third of dorsal surface of lateral border of scapula. This is teres minor, small one. This is teres major, and this is subscapularis muscle. Okay, now we look about insertions. Teres major insert to medial lip of bicipital groove of humerus. Teres minor insert to greater tuberosity of humerus and also capsule of shoulder joint. And subscapularis insert to lesser tuberosity of humerus. Okay, you can see this is the teres minor insert to greater tuberosity of humerus, and this is the teres major insert to medial lip of bicipital groove, and this is the subscapularis muscle insert to lesser tubercle of humerus. And the nerve supply, teres major innervated by lower subscapular nerve, teres minor innervated by axillary nerve, subscapularis muscle innervated by upper and lower subscapular nerve. So subscapularis innervated by subscapular nerves. Remember that axillary nerve give two muscle, they are teres minor and deltoid muscle. And the actions, teres major medial rotate arm and adduct arm and stabilize shoulder joint. Teres minor lateral rotate arm. Subscapularis medial rotate arm and stabilize shoulder joint. Also teres minor stabilize shoulder joint. Okay, and you can understand this is the teres minor involved to lateral rotation of arm and adduct arm, and this is teres major involved to medial rotation arm and adduct arm, and both are involved to stabilize the shoulder joint. And this is subscapularis muscle involved to medial rotation of arm and stabilize the shoulder joint. Okay, now we look about rotator cuff muscles. They are supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor and subscapularis. You can memorize it. SITS, SITS. Okay, you can see this is the supraspinatus muscle and this is the infraspinatus muscle. This is the teres minor and this is subscapularis. This muscle located around the shoulder joint. And functions are stabilize glenohumeral joint or shoulder joint, keep humeral head centered in glenoid cavity, and allow control rotation and abduction. And you can see weak area at rotator cuff. It is inferior part of the rotator cuff. This inferior part is the weak area. So shoulder joint prone to dislocate downward. Okay. Now we learn about quadrangular space. It is clinically important. This is the quadrangular space. It has four boundaries: superior, inferior, medial and lateral. Superior boundary formed by teres minor and also capsule of shoulder joint. Inferior boundary formed by teres major. Medial boundary formed by long head of triceps. Lateral boundary formed by surgical neck of humerus or humerus. And quadrangular spaces convey two structures. They are axillary nerve and posterior circumflex artery and vein. And they have some clinical note. Injury to axillary nerve. This is axillary nerve. Injury to axillary nerve during humeral surgical neck fracture or shoulder dislocation can cause deltoid paralysis and loss of shoulder contour. Okay, you can see this is the quadrangular space and this is the two structures: posterior humeral circumflex artery and also vein, and this is the nerve axillary nerve. This axillary nerve damage in this area and leads to deltoid paralysis. So it's involved to weak abduction because deltoid main function in abduction 15 to 90 degree, and also axillary nerve sensory supply to the shoulder region, so sensory loss in the shoulder region. And also you can see two triangular areas. This one is this one. First one is the triangular space. It's convey one vessel. It is circumflex scapula artery. Lower one is called triangular interval. It is convey two structures: radial nerve and profunda brachial artery. Okay, now we learn about rotator cuff tendinitis. Okay, rotator cuff tendinitis common in repetitive overhead activities such as swimming, tennis, rowing, caused by friction of supraspinatus tendon against acromion process and associated with subacromial bursitis. Symptoms are painful arc during abduction, especially between 60 to 120 degree, and pain over lateral shoulder. And managements are NSAIDs for painkillers, physiotherapy, rest. During severe case, we need surgical repair. And supraspinatus tendon rupture. This is advanced stage of tendinitis. Patient cannot initiate abduction because supraspinatus tendon is involved to initiate abduction. But deltoid can continue abduction after 15 degree. And finally, thank you. Best wishes. Subscribe my channel. Like and share this video. We will meet in the next video. Have a nice day.